Nigga got a lifetime achievement award, president finalized, bro. I can't believe this shit, bro. Man, not in my whole lifetime achievement award, fine, bro. Let me look through it. I was watching a video last night, right, on my other channel, but I had to grab the video and on cap. So the man driving down the street with the police, he said, and all of nowhere, he see UFOs and shit. He told the police, he was like, I'm gonna provide my own air support. So this nigga, alien, my boy, like, nigga, if you an alien, are you in it? Are you into who the hell is you, boy? You fake ass, one of these guys, bro. Like, come on, bro. That video is nah, bro. I ain't calling you. I'm not gonna call you that, bro. Cause that's blasphemy. I'm sorry, sir. Yeah, this nigga running the coat. This nigga running the coat, cuz. I'm sorry. He running the coat, my boy. For real, for real. Look at this. But he got a whole website. King Yahweh. King Yahweh continues to conduct global outreach amid crisis. Essentially, the meeting was a humanitarian collaboration between King Yahweh. Fuck, man, who the hell is this nigga? He made him a human, bro. Like, oh, Ghana, well, he need to take his ass back to Ghana and deal with that bullshit. Then the man ain't even from Ghana. The man from the United States. The man was a correction officer. Hold up, let me see. Let me see. I'm trying to see this shit, bro. CIA heart attack. Sweetwater. That's in Florida. Buddy, buddy plugged in with them. Buddy plugged in with them. With the aliens and shit, bro. Yeah, cause nah. I'm straight on, buddy. And then Pat talking about, you should meet him. Nah, I don't want to meet him. You gonna put me on your spells, my boy. I'm good on that. Swear to God, I'm good on that. I honestly think this is a cult. It gotta be a cult. Cause you look up the word Yahweh, okay? Yahweh, that's the Hebrew way that they say God. And this man, like the way he want people to worship him. He ain't dealing with no low budget people. He dealing with celebrities. Don't nobody know nothing about this man. Let me see. Let me see what else I can find on here. We just literally talking about the hell. What you saying? Nigga might be eating. Shit, hey. Who the hell is these motherfucking people, bro? That boy better. That boy better. Hmm.
Beginning of his kingdom was trouble. He began to be a mighty one of the earth. Wherefore it is said, Nimrod the mighty hunter before the Lord. Thus saith the Lord God, will ye hunt the souls of my people, and will ye save the souls alive that come unto you? To slay the souls that should not die, to save the souls that should not live. When reading the Bible, you will often come across people within it
that are significant, yet the story seems to lack definition. The story of Nimrod and the Tower of Babel is one of these examples. Experiences like this can cause Christians to search out false Bibles and the lies of man just to satisfy their itch to know more information. However, I challenge you to understand this passage. Romans 3:4 says, God forbid, yea, let God be true, but every man a liar. As it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy saying, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. The only way a Christian can know if they are seeing the truth is when it comes directly from the Word of God. Everything outside of the Bible is a lie put forth by man to tickle the ears of the simple. Titus 1:14 warns us, saying, not giving heed to Jewish fables and commandments of men that turn from the truth. Writings such as the supposed book of Enoch and the supposed book of Jasher are simply fables of the Jewish community that people look to for Christian information. It is like looking for accurate information on a conservative political candidate in the political camp of the liberals. The source of this error is a lack of faith. Christians have trouble in believing God can preserve His own word through every generation. Yet at the same time, they have no problem trusting scrolls found in a cave that were written by unbelieving Jews who rejected Christ and contradict the Bible. Through this documentary, I will show you the true history of Nimrod, the wisdom that the Lord shows to those who are willing to study Scripture. To begin, we will start with the first mention of Nimrod in the Bible. Genesis 10:8 says, and Cush begat Nimrod, he began to be a mighty one in the earth. The first thing we learn about this man is that his father is Cush, and we can understand from Genesis 10:6 that Cush is the first son of Ham. If you did not know, Ham represents spiritual wickedness within the Bible. As Genesis 9, verses 22 through 27 say, and Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father, and told his two brethren without. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, and laid it upon both their shoulders, and went backwards, and covered the nakedness of their father. And their faces were backward, and they saw not their father's nakedness. And Noah awoke from his wine, and knew what his younger son had done unto him. And he said, cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be unto his brethren. And he said, blessed be the Lord God of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem, and Canaan shall be his servant. To give you some insight, every person within the Bible has a spiritual representation of a future generation. Let's take Noah as symbolizing God the Father, and his three children symbolizing three types of people of God. Shem represents Christ, and therefore his children are the people of Israel that have faith in God, while Ham represents Satan, and therefore his children, who are symbolized by Canaan, are the people of Israel that turn from the Lord. This is why Canaan is cursed and not Ham, because God is spiritually representing the curse he will put on the children of disobedience. We see this in Ezekiel 16, which says, again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, cause Jerusalem to know her abomination, and say, thus saith the Lord God unto Jerusalem, thy birth and thy nativity is of the land of Canaan. Thy father was an Amorite, and thy mother a Hittite. And as for thy nativity, in the day that thou wast born, thy navel was not cut, neither wast thou washed in water to supple thee. Thou wast not salted at all, nor swaddled at all. God uses the spiritual symbolism of Canaan to describe the people of Jerusalem due to their wicked abomination. The last son of Noah, who is Japheth, then represents the Gentiles that come to God after the death of Christ. This explains why Noah's prophecy of Japheth said, he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. The Lord even explains this truth in Genesis 10, verses 2 through 5. The sons of Japheth, Gomer and Magog and Madai, and Japheth and Tubal and Meshech, and the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz and Rithah and Togarmah, and the sons of Japheth, Eliash and Tarshish and Kittim.
Before he just got that.
Uh-oh. This nigga might be an alien.
The true story of our origins has been hidden and smothered by tons of stone rubble, hardened mud, and dust. We've been wandering the earth blindsided by the oblivion of the past and resigned to history textbooks from which we learn very little about what really happened to this planet's own past, which holds many ancient secrets. And this would continue if men like Eric von Daniken and Zechariah Sitchin hadn't had the courage to expose important questions that pulled many out of the comfortable zone of ignorance. But it all started much earlier. Around 1840, English and French archaeologists made incredible discoveries. In the midst of excavations, they found palaces, temples, jewels, statues, the Royal Library of Ashurbanipal II, and inside it, more than 25,000 clay tablets, all with cuneiform writing. These tablets recorded everything: historical texts, poetry, astronomical records, mathematical formulas, commercial contracts, music scores, and so on. The translators of these texts also discovered stories of men and gods, which they classified as mythology, as surreal as they seem to be. However, something greatly intrigued the ancient scholars and discoverers of clay tablets. Many accounts describe them that predate biblical Genesis and seem to be the origin of the sacred text. Many of us grew up indoctrinated by some of the Abrahamic religions, which are distinguished into three strands: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. All are monotheistic and believe God is as the universal God of Israel, and all are plainly
swimming, sleeping, eating, and getting fat. Back in Eden, children were called by the names they received from their test tube parents. The boy was called Adamu, or red as the clay of the earth, and the girl, Tiamat, the mother of life. They formed the first Adam and Eve couple reported in the biblical Genesis, and is the one who was expelled from paradise for having tasted the fruit of knowledge. Adamu and Tiamat, as well as their clones, were sterile by birth, as were their hybrids. The cunning serpent who bore the fruit for Eve was the brilliant scientist who conducted the entire experiment from the beginning, Enki, the Sumerian god of knowledge. Enlil, called the Lord of Command, leader of the Earth mission, expelled the couple from the Garden of Eden, and who did so disgusted by the direction the genetic experiment was taking. What was supposed to be disposable now had the power to multiply. His fear was that the creature had also been given the long life of the gods. This, in the long run, would pose potential danger to the outnumbered Elohim on Earth. But it was too late now. The reality was there for all to see, appreciate, and enjoy. All that remained was to go ahead with the plans to mine the gold, to make all the effort and all the sacrifice worth it, perhaps never being able to return home. Enlil, with his typical military strategic mind, would look for a way to try to eliminate the new species at an opportune time and cleanse the earth of the wrong done. At that moment, he had decided to accept what fate had imposed, but he didn't want to see the stars terrestrial couple in front of him. He said to Enki, "Take them away, you treacherous serpent." Something like this. Consanguine relations. Hundreds of years later, the other Adam and Eve couple appeared. These were the parents of Cain and Abel in the book of Genesis. Cro-Magnon man, or archaic Homo sapiens, arose from the cross between Anunnaki and the descendant of the laboratory-bred specimen. Once again, we will have the interference of the serpent of Eden. Enki realized that with time and constant consanguineous relationships, his precious experiment was somehow regressing to the primitive stage, and so he began to look for a solution to the case. The recourse was to have himself sexually related with two females, descended from Adamu and Tiamat. The experiment, conducted amidst vegetation and under the shade of a tree, soon paid off. From the females, offspring were born, a boy and a girl, both hybrids perfected to a higher degree. They were more graceful, intelligent creatures, and, though still somewhat rustic, a step before they became what we are today. Enki kept this experience a secret for as long as he could. It told everyone that the new species of terrestrials had arisen naturally in the desert. They were raised by himself and his wife, and were loved as children by her. They were taught everything, and they learned everything. In fact, it was from Adapa, the scribe, that the genealogy of the terrestrials began to be recorded, the book of the generations of Adam. At this point, we need to make a scientific observation. Genetic studies that analyzed fossil DNA from Neanderthal women and mitochondrial DNA, which is passed exclusively from mothers to children of both sexes, concluded that we share 2.5% to 4% of the DNA with Neanderthals. Now, doing the analysis from the Y chromosome, the researchers have observed that apparently their DNA has not been passed on to modern humans, which makes sense, since we've here been proposing that the owner of the Y chromosome is an Anunnaki. Tablets contain historical texts, poetry, astronomical records, mathematical formulas, commercial contracts, sheet music, and so on. The translators of these texts also discovered stories of men and gods, which they classified as mythology. Later, it was the descendants of the Adapa who related and had children, the Nephilim, that is, the famous fallen angels, who had nothing of fallen, as they did not fall.
Ashley's biggest event of the year is going on now.
Damn, but this shit gonna get deep, deep.
Deals.
You
And
need
Ashley,
some water? You
Fall,
dig?
or so they landed. After the flood, a natural catastrophe, and not a punishment from God, but one that Enlil knew how to use, to try, without success, to exterminate the aberration generated by original sin, which, incidentally, is nothing more than the genetic experience that occurred in the past. There was a shift in the social behavior pattern between the Anunnaki and the terrestrials. Man was no longer a slave, but from then on, he played a supporting role in the construction of the history of the world. Sumeria, Egypt, India, and China all appeared. Empires rose and fell, and here we are. Currently, in the middle of the information and technology age, we can better understand what the ancient texts said in allegorical language. Currently, without the religious fanaticism that persecuted those who dared to think, we can understand that the Bible does not speak of God, the creator of everything, who remains inscrutable to the human mind, but of extraterrestrials who, venturing into space, found and colonized the Earth and created Homo sapiens. Today, now that we no longer need to prove ourselves rational and lucid beings, we can admit that the missing link in the theory of evolution can be easily explained by an alternative theory, but no less rational or logical. Darwin's thesis makes perfect sense, but only up to a point, and the Bible isn't, after all, telling us old wives' tales. The biblical Genesis is only a summary of the much older Mesopotamian texts. But putting the Hebrew text to one side, we have several other texts called sacred, spread across the four corners of the world, each one forming a different mythology, but telling the exact same story. Now, you can change the characters' names, you can change some of the details, but the core of the narrative is always the same. At some point in Earth's past, gods descended from the heavens and created man. Is it really just mythology? And what is a mythological narrative if not an attempt to be didactic, explaining complex things by comparative means in a language that can be understood by those who are not yet ready to understand advanced technology or sophisticated medico-biological procedures?
Boom.
When Sir Henry Layard found Nineveh,
So, This nigga Buddy Hughes. Buddy got me sparked up, bro. Um,
The round thing at the top is obviously the sight. The rest of it is what is practically a normal 45. Special. However, it works by electricity. There's a battery and the handle, and it fires a bomb. So that when it fires silently. Almost. Yeah. Very low. What range does it have? 100 meters, I believe, about 100 yards, 100 meters. About 100 meters range. Right. And the dart itself, when it strikes the target, does the target know that he's been hit and about to die? That depends, Chairman, on the particular dart used. There are different kinds of these flechettes that were used in various weapon systems, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception. Without perception, right. And did you find such darts in the library, in the laboratory? We did. Yes.
they talking about this gun that they can shoot you with and make you have a heart attack. And you won't even know it. The CIA got some shit, man. Make you have a whole aneurysm. So I think it's impossible for them to do it. Hey, 20, welcome to the Jetsons, my boy. Everything that you thought wasn't real is real. Everything.
I have a two-step approach to this. But first, I want to just say, we've been talking about doing something against the Mexican drug cartels regarding foreign terrorist organization designation for a decade, since 2012. Senator Kennedy and I are going to believe Democrats will be involved to label these organizations as foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law. That's the top of the food chain. An FTO designation is the highest designation you can give a criminal terrorist enterprise that's not a nation state. What would it mean? It means that all the precursors coming for China, Chinese chemical companies and Chinese enterprises, would be subject to being prosecuted under U.S. law for providing material support to foreign terrorist organizations, something you can't do today. So we're going to open up the prosecution lane. But I'm a firm believer that the prosecution model as it exists today is not working. So what are we going to do? We're going to up the ante. We're going to designate these groups and others, if appropriate, foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law, changing the game for those who provide assistance to them. What drives this is fentanyl. It's been a game changer. More people died in the United States from fentanyl poisoning than car wrecks and gun violence combined. Fentanyl is becoming the leading cause of death for Americans ages 18 to 45. 200 Americans die every day due to fentanyl overdoses. Fentanyl overdoses cause the equivalent of a new September 11th every 2 weeks. I think John and I believe that if there were an ISIS or Al-Qaeda cell in Mexico that lobbed a rocket into Texas, we'd wipe them off the planet. They're doing that times thousands, and our response is inadequate. 106,000 people last year died of drug overdoses, 70,000 related to fentanyl with no end in sight. We've recovered over 12,000 pounds of fentanyl at the border this year, enough to kill almost 3 billion people. Last year's 14,700 pounds. This year is almost 13,000 pounds, and we got 8 months to go. This problem is a national security threat. Fentanyl is a killer, and the people killing Americans reside out in the open in Mexico. Now, I don't know if it's a lack of will on behalf of the Mexican government to bring these cartels to bay or a lack of capability. Either way, it's the same result for the United States. Chaos, heartache, terrorism, murder, and it needs to come to an end. So we're going to do two things today. We're going to introduce legislation in the coming days and trying to make it bipartisan to designate these groups foreign terrorist organizations under U.S. law to open up more capability to go after them and their conspirators all over the world. Secondly, we're going to introduce an authorization to use military force where the United States military can go in and destroy these labs and destroy these networks if possible. Once you're designated an FTO, a terrorist organization, the second step that we'll be engaging in is give the military the authority to go after these organizations wherever they exist. Not to invade Mexico, not to shoot Mexican airplanes down, but to destroy drug labs that are poisoning Americans. Plan Colombia. Bill Clinton in 2000 passed Plan Colombia. Here's what Joe Biden said. We have an obligation in the interest of our children and the interest of the hemisphere to keep the oldest democracy in place, Colombia, to give them a fighting chance to keep from becoming a narco state. Joe Biden supported Plan Colombia in 2000. Plan Colombia allowed the United States military to partner with Colombia, their military and their drug enforcement agencies, to get in on the ground and disrupt the cocaine traffic that was poisoning America back then. Fentanyl is up to 10,000 times more lethal than the dose of morphine. Fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. If you thought Plan Colombia was a good idea, to go to Colombia with military force, to help the Colombian military to take down the cocaine narcos state that existed, then how can you object to it being done in Mexico? So it's time now for Plan Mexico. It's time now to get serious and use all the tools in the toolbox, not just in the prosecution lane, not just in the law enforcement lane, but in the military lane as well. Hopefully this will change behavior of the Mexican government. Nothing would please me more than to have a meaningful partnership to take these drug cartels down and stop killing Americans. But if Mexico will not cooperate, then we're going to have to do what's in our national security interest. And let me just end with this. Mexico is a safe haven. It is a narco-terrorist state. The safe haven provides Mexican cartels the ability with impunity to deliver lethal doses of fentanyl into our nation. That is the leading cause of death of Americans from 18 to 45. 4 South Carolinians went to Mexico. 2 of them are not coming back. I just talked to the sister of one of the victims. They're waiting on the body. These drug cartels are dangerous. They're lawless. American law needs to change to make sure we deal with them appropriately. And as we designate them FTOs, the next step will be to provide authorization to use military force to eradicate the Mexican drug cartels that are poisoning America. I could not have a better partner than Senator Kennedy.
Well, I will be brief. I just came by to block from our quarterback here. A couple of things I think are undeniable. Number one, Americans are being killed on both sides of the border. And Americans are being addicted, certainly on our side of the border. Killed too. And number two, I don't mean any disrespect, but both President Biden and President Lopez Obrador, when it comes to the border and the drug cartels, have been sheep in sheep's clothing. And this has gone on long enough. If you have the will, we in America have the ability to help President AMLO, as some call him, eradicate these drug cartels. And I just came to thank Lindsey for finally, somebody is going to do something. Finally. And I'm hoping we'll have a bipartisan effort and that Congress.
He said that he had no problem with foreign terrorist organization designation, but that's up to the State Department. He didn't oppose it. I didn't mention to him the authorization to use force, but Plan Colombia was used in the late 90s, early 2000s, where the United States saw their cocaine problem in Colombia to be so severe, such a threat. Bill Clinton authorized military forces to go train in all this military. We're going to take it a step. This is not cocaine. Cocaine's a terrible drug. Fentanyl is a weapon of mass destruction. It requires a different response. So what are we going to do? We labeled FARC, the cocaine kingpin in Colombia, an FTO back then. We're going to label all these people FTOs. If you're in China helping these people, we'll come after you too through our legal system. But most importantly, we're going to top this off with a Plan Mexico more lethal than Plan Colombia. If Americans do not see the need to use military force to stop the flow of fentanyl, I would be shocked. I would think that Americans as a whole would like us to use every tool in the toolbox to try to get Mexico to up their game. Let's start with FTO designation, then follow it with an authorization to use force and use it if required. I'd love to use it in conjunction with the Mexican army, but you got to have a willing partner. I'm not really worried about hurting our relationship with Mexico. I'm trying to make it better. What kind of neighbor is this? Again, if there was a ISIS cell or Al Qaeda.
It sounds stupid, but what y'all put niggas on for is something you had jobs, you know what I'm saying? It was sound good this way, it was sound good this way. And then nobody out there like y'all niggas is before y'all put it on or whatever, but a nigga gonna be down. But shit, they should let you know what they wanna be in life or you know, back in the day, we used to look at little niggas like he gonna be a runner or he gonna be a shooter or cuz gonna be a fight. You know what I'm saying? Like you had these certain when you look at it, you can just tell. But nah, why not? He gonna be a doctor. He gonna be a lawyer. He gonna be a basketball player. He gonna be a movie star. Something like that. Give them something to go forward to because they gonna listen, man. Like yeah, niggas be knucklehead, but at the same time, when it come to Jordan and shit like that, I ain't got no choice but to listen, my nigga. And I just feel like just do it for a righteous reason. I mean, if we gonna do it right. And that's what brought me to the cartel shit. Like if niggas start doing shit right and taking accountability, that would push the laws up off of y'all and off the gang and shit like that, and give them more time to go solve other shit, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, man, like I ain't trying to you know. I'm just saying this is our community. Everybody want to be a part of something. You know, you got police, you got college sorority groups, you got communities, task groups. You got all type of things that people are a part of. So gangs started to protect the communities anyway. You know what I'm saying? So why not take it back to what it originally was started for, like to protect and to gang my brothers up, and you know what I'm saying? To it was for to. Shalom, what's up, YouTube? Adonai 720, back with another one. Check this out, y'all. Listen. Nation of Yahweh jackasses is back at it again. Now they got Mika Yahweh made a video claiming that he's the Messiah that's coming to save Israel and get everything for everybody. I really didn't want to mess with this topic again, but I had to. Let me give y'all a quick breakdown of this damn fool. Charles Johnson, aka Mika Israel, a retired Miami police officer and follower of Hulan Mitchell Jr., aka Dummy Ben Dummy, the angel poetry god. Charles Johnson is the megalomaniac false prophet who cons and manipulated uneducated Israelites into believing he's the Messiah. He also have these people to sell their homes, sell their cars, and get up and leave from where they're from and come to live in his backyard dungeon. What's so crazy is the news done did a whole thing on this and everything. But anyhow, I'm done talking about this cult junkie. Let's get to the presentation.
You understand this? Okay. The world knows the Christ is supposed to return. They are waiting on the Christ to return. It's not a fable. It's not an imaginary story tale or something that you'll hear in church and forget about. This is prophetically. I promised to return. I also promised my disciples that you see them with me, that I will go and prepare a place for them.
Yeah. Hey, look, I was watching this video, right? And bro, tell me why the man was driving down the street in Clearwater, Florida. He had like a motorcade. I'm gonna show you. Hold on. Let me show you. Man, this man running the coat, man running the coat. I'm sorry to tell you, the man running the coat.
On a beautiful June 1st morning, the Celestial Federation of Yahweh begins its annual Caravan of Love event. Scores of devotees bring their cars to join the motorcade, which travels through the city for several hours touring neighborhoods. The motorcade draws many well-wishers to the parade route to cheer on Yahweh Ben Yahweh Ben Yahweh in the joyous event. This year, the motorcade was accompanied by 4 uniformed motorcycle patrol officers from the Sweetwater Police Department to stop traffic along the way. The use of helicopters in some neighborhoods near the Miami International Airport corridor is prohibited by the FAA. Yahweh Ben Yahweh Ben Yahweh announced that he would bring in his own air support as the motorcade sped down I-95, and much to the amazement of the participants, 4 unidentified flying objects appeared in the sky. The objects, larger than any known aircraft, took up positions in each cardinal direction, as if to sanctify the auspicious occasion. This immediately triggered reports to the Mutual Unidentified Flying Object Network, which generated an official report. The disposition of case number 48269 remains unresolved to this day.
Yep, get a cult leader. And I heard he used to be a correctional officer. Not where what the lady said that he used to be a correctional officer. And he got 8 kids. The boy got 8 kids. He ain't from Africa, he's from the United States. Yeah, it's a quote. Can't make no excuses for it. He ain't doing it, bro. This man got a lifetime achievement award from Biden last year. I'm down with him. He ain't trying to expose nobody. Ain't nobody been exposed on this thing. You feel me? I hear what you saying, but I don't think so. For real. Some people saying you heard of Inky? You heard of Inky? He might be Inky. Might be an alien or something. How everybody wants something to believe in. Everybody wants something to believe in, even if it ain't the real thing. Just like we were talking about it yesterday. That's what I'm saying. And then the fact that they call him. Let me read you the titles that he go by. You feel me? These are the titles he gave himself, and it's blasphemous. Period. Because if you're a follower of the word, what you mean? The people that look for
backsliders, non-believers. Everybody don't want to believe in God, but they want something to believe in. Everybody wants something to believe in, even if it ain't what you believe in. But yeah, they non-believers at the end of the day. But it's on us to to get them off of the wrong track and get them right. This world so wicked. This world so wicked. I'm trying to figure out how many people is he married to. 'Cause honestly, I think he got Lisa Ray, then he got oh, did you hear about the CIA heart attack gun? They got a gun that could shoot you and make you have a heart attack, and you don't even know you got shot because they'll shoot you with like a dart. Yeah, it's the gun that they shot Bob Marley with.
Various devices
Look,
for administering
that's the gun right there. They bringing it up right now. That's the gun right there. I'm gonna put the video. I'm gonna put the video on here. I'm gonna put the video on here so you can see it on the screen. That's right. Guys. Come on over here. You're dead. You're going to do something. Trying to figure out which one I got. I should have it on here. Yep. They got man. Welcome to the Jetsons. Oh man. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. I gotta go to brand video.
Damn.
It's over here. It's over here. That gotta be the CIA shit right there, man. That gotta be it. Yep, got it. Yeah, back, baby. I got it. Right here.
Various devices for administering the toxin that were found in the laboratory certainly make it clear that purely defensive uses were not what the agency was limited to in any way. There were definite offensive uses. In fact, there were dart guns. You mentioned suicides. Well, I don't think the suicide is usually accomplished with a dart, particularly a gun that can place the dart in a human target in such a way that he doesn't even know that he's been hit.
There's no question about it. It was also for offensive reasons. No question.
Have you brought with you some of those devices which would have enabled the CIA to use this poison for?
We have indeed.
For killing people? Don't point it at me. I wonder if
Can you roll that over?
Roll it over. Now, does this pistol fire the dart?
Yes, it does, Mr. Chairman. The round thing at the top is obviously the sight. The rest of it is what is practically a normal 45, although it's special. However, it works by electricity. There's a battery in the handle, and it fires a small dart.
So that when it fires silently?
Almost silently, yes. Very little.
What range does it have?
100 meters. 100 meters, I believe, about 100 yards, 100 meters.
About 100 meters range.
Right.
And the dart itself, when it strikes the target, does the target know that he's been hit and about to die?
That depends, Mr. Chairman, on the particular dart used. There are different kinds of these flechettes that were used in various weapon systems, and a special one was developed which potentially would be able to enter the target without perception.
Without perception.
Right.
And did you find such darts in the library?
We did.
In the laboratory?
We did.
Yes. Isn't it true too that the effort not only involved designing a gun that could strike a human target without knowledge of the person who'd been struck. But also the toxin itself would not appear in the autopsy?
Well, there was an attempt.
Or the dart?
Yes, so that there was no way of perceiving that the target was hit.
As a murder instrument, that's about as efficient as you can get, isn't it?
It is a weapon, a very serious weapon.
Yeah, that shit is, man. See how big that shit is? That's an old ass video now. That's old, so ain't no telling what type of technology they got. You feel me? Shit crazy, man. That's an old ass video. But you see how big that shit was? It just go to show you, man. Like, while we getting all these bullets and shit, I need me one of them darts. I want me one of them darts. I want one of them darts, man. My weapons of mass destruction shit. That's a weapon of mass destruction right there, but get shot with one of them darts, but it's over with. That gonna crew. That shit crazy, man. Get some more videos put on here. Some more crazy stuff. Of course, you know that. You know that. Come on, man. They done got them bitches. Well, oh, did you hear about the robots? The robots that killed the scientists. Man, I gotta go to my dog page, bro. When you hear this shit, you gonna be like, man, what the fuck? Yeah, they killed 20. I think it killed like 29 scientists in Japan. The robot, man, they was trying to take the robots apart. And the one robot, they took like 3 of them apart, and I guess one of them was connected to the satellite, and pretty much built itself stronger to where he wouldn't be easy to defeat. And we already know what happened. Some people, they got shot down out the sky, you feel me, and they ass disappeared. They ain't gonna tell you what happened to them people. You know that. You know that, Pat. Yeah, we amongst UFOs. I saw one, so you can't tell me that they don't exist. I saw one with my own 2 eyes. I ain't talking about on no camera, on no screen. Me and my homeboy saw that shit like 3 o'clock in the morning. Shit came out of the cloud and bust a mean ass left. For real. Nah, cause you know how some people be like, yeah, man, I saw a UFO on TikTok. I saw it on TikTok. Nah, I went on TikTok, baby. It was in real life, baby. Like, oh God, you laughing? I'm so serious. Me and my homeboy saw that shit. We looked at each other. We was like, did you see that? We was like, yeah, bro. We was in disbelief, and then when we told our homeboys about it, they thought we was crazy. They was like, yeah, y'all was high. Y'all was high. Like, yeah, but shit. People been in space. Here we go with this theory again. Now, who's to say that they didn't? They already found. They found structures on the far side of the moon. And why you think they ain't been back to the moon? You feel me? Like, come on, keep it real. Like, keep it real now. Let's be honest. Let's be honest, Pat. Why you think they ain't been back to the moon? Come on now, them motherfuckers scared. They know who to fuck with. Y'all better stay y'all lie down here with that bullshit. Come on now, you already know. They ain't been back since. They going everywhere else but the moon. Cause they know they go out there, they probably gonna get deleted. Nah, I'm so alright. When have you heard them say they sending a group of astronauts to the moon again? They sending robots out there. They ain't going up there. Hell nah, they ain't going. They know better. They already talking about they found structures and all type of big ass buildings up there. So ain't no telling who up there. I got an international confederacy out there. You feel me? Remember that movie Guardians now? Guardians of the Galaxy Guardians, whatever the name of that movie is. I think that shit real. For real, like I think the shit real. I ain't even gonna count. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's real. Cause you know, a lot of this, and then not to mention, okay, you see how everybody got all these guns and stuff, woo woo woo. So like ain't no telling what type of, you feel me? Come on now, we ain't the only ones. We is not the only ones out there, bitch. I don't believe that we the only ones in this whole universe. Just because we ain't got the technology to go out there, you feel me? And then my thing is this: how the hell they know how far these goddamn planets is? Just like I was asking, like I was on somebody else's screen and they was asking how much the Earth weigh, and the Earth weighed 13,000. I think 400 and hold on, let me. It's 13,470 billion pounds or some shit. I'm like, how the hell did they weigh the Earth? You feel me? Like, how did they come up with that number? Like, does NASA have a big ass scale they want to know about that they just put on the bottom of Earth? You feel me? Put the Earth on that bit, like, yeah, man, you gonna weigh the Earth. You finna weigh the Earth right fire, you feel me? Like if it's rotating or whatever it's doing in space, like how the hell do you weigh it? How do you weigh the Earth? Like how do you weigh the Earth? Come on, NASA. Like yeah, come on now, real shit, bro. Like ain't no dummy. Like ain't. That's why I say, what going to you know the all that other stuff. Scientists think y'all so they think they so goddamn smart, bro. It's like Revenge of the Nerds. Remember Revenge of the Nerds? They trying to get back. they trying to get back, man. They trying to get back. Revenge of the Nerds. For real. How you know how far the fucking you feel me the planets is from each other? How you know how long a light year is? You feel me? Who told these people how much a light year is? We ain't light and we don't know how long it take for a light year. You feel me? Like people be like asking some stupid ass questions, like some stuff you just don't need to know. don't need to know. Like people be like, oh well, what it is. Yeah, with theories. They indoctrinating you into their ideology. But don't come at me with the oh, you're not smart like me because I went to school. I've read all these books written by all these other people that had different ideologies. So you're indoctrinating yourself to another person's belief system. You feel me? Like I'd rather come up with my own determination of how things are, even though I know there are multi-dimensional beings, and I'm still trying to figure out where the fuck this nigga come from. Like this nigga pops out of nowhere. He kicking it with all the celebrities. This nigga got a motorcade of cops and UFOs. Something ain't right. It's no cuz ain't no fucking way, bro. This nigga turned down the air support from the government and had fucking aliens goddamn following this nigga. Come on, bro. Like I'm about to put this shit up here. I'm about to put this nigga finna get exposed, yo. When they expose you, buddy. I'm sorry, cuz you got these women goddamn going crazy, yo. It's so happy. I'm so happy to see black men getting represented like this. They're not second. Like how many people you see dressed up regular going to work, not sagging their pants. You feel me? And y'all wanna praise them. You don't even know these people. Talking about, oh, I'm not shooting my shot. I'm just saying I appreciate everything you shooting your shot. You shooting your shot. You shooting your shot indirectly shooting your shot. Like you feel me? Talking about, oh, I ain't never had nobody make me feel this way. I was in awe. Like, ooh, who is he? Like, like for like for real though, bro. Like, come on, man. I am not stupid, bro. I am not stupid. 100, man. Like for real.
No, he's gonna say hi before you jump up
Oh,
on my beat.
my bad. I didn't even do that.
Oh.
What's good?
What's good?
Shit, just chilling, going live on YouTube right now.
What?
I said just chilling, going live on my YouTube right now.
You're going live on your YouTube.
Yes, my YouTube channel.
What is your YouTube channel about?
I'm just talking about current events, stupid stuff.
About what?
Current events, things like that. Hello?
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, right now I'm talking about this weird ass nigga named King Yahweh getting on his head.
Bro.
For real. Like the man really like think he a king or some shit.
I don't know much about the word.
Where you from?
I'm from the UK. Where you from?
The United States, Florida.
Florida. I wanted to go Florida so bad.
Come before the prices get crazy. So you should come through. You should come to the channel.
You want me to come to the channel?
Yeah, I'm gonna type it in the chat.
Okay, I'll take a screenshot. I'm not gonna do that now because I literally have to leave my house.
Yeah. Take your time.
But I will take the screenshot and I'll check it out because I'm not a bitch.
Appreciate you.
I mean, mean, who knows? I might actually enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I just be talking bullshit, you know, kicking the bobo, whatever.
I mean, that's how YouTube is supposed to work. I wanted to have a YouTube channel, but I don't fucking know how to edit videos, and I don't have a camera. I have a ring light.
Got a ring light.
That's the only thing I have. I have no mic, no nothing but a ring light.
I mean, shit, you could do it with your phone. You can record the videos on your phone and then edit them. So it's not like that bad.
Oh my god, you sound like a fucking firework.
That's it though, right there in the chat.
I don't see the sparkles. Where you going? You just wanted to make the fireworks for us. I'm so bored and tired. Did I take a screenshot? Let me check if I took a
I'm gonna roast
screenshot.
this nigga. Oh Lord, he's back with the fireworks. And I'm gonna holler at you later though.
Alright, enjoy your life.
Alright, I will.
Actually, listen, they're coming in for a reason.
Dun dun dun. I ain't even mean to go on that shit. It just happened. Yeah, nah. But I want you to listen to this shit. Hold on. Listen to this girl. Listen to these girls. Goddamn, me going crazy. I'm jumping in the shower. Talk to you like she ready to kill her. I don't know what she ready to do. I don't know. Shit. Do your thing. Do your thing. I'm gonna roast this nigga. Oh God, that nigga get roasted. Listen to this shit. Hold on. Listen to this shit. Who the hell is this nigga? Fucking female eye again, fucking red and shit. Looking at this nigga. Oh, who's this man? Oh, what did he do? This ain't the biggest BS I ever seen. You feel me? Come on. The royal family. Bro, what's up with this shit, bro? Like, come on, bro. Like, am I tripping or am I tripping, bro? I see through the bush. Y'all really be worshiping this man. How y'all worship a human being? Come on, y'all ain't even supposed to be doing that. Y'all ain't even supposed to be doing that, man. For real, for real. Who is Inky? Man. They saying this man might be Inky. They saying this man might be something else. I don't know. Let me see something. I don't know, like Charles White. Hey.
My father was into that shit, and my mother is a full-blown Christian, bro. For the secret church and shit, never went to this church, none of that.
What the
You
beat
never
is?
was in the dark room with my father, like on some real shit. Yeah.
My father was in the side where they sleep in the motherfucking casket and shit like that to get the degrees. My father was in that type of shit. But I know nothing of that shit because my mother kept us from that shit. All I know is about the Christian Jesus shit and shit like that. I don't know nothing of my father, bro. All I know is energy and certain shit. That my mother look at me when I was when I was like 26, 27, 28, and my mother look at me and say, oh, you drink just like your father. Why you think I stopped drinking? I ain't like that motherfucker, yo. My mother said, you drink just like your father. I quit drinking right away. I don't even drink. My mother said, oh, you gamble just like your father. What? I quit. Your mother said, oh, your father used to be a womanizer. What? I quit. Fuck that. I don't want to be named like that nigga, bro. Like fact. My mother put me on that I was like my father. I ain't know nothing about that nigga. It's just energy. So I just shift the energy. I don't want to be like that nigga. The fuck? My father used to beat my mother. I'm going to kill that nigga. Like, what? I could never put my hand on a woman. If I put my hand on a woman, that woman really made me feel real dark inside. Really, yo, self-defense that, bitch. Like, what? You're going to reflex reaction.
That nigga said self-defense. I feel you.
Yeah, you heard him. That nigga ran a whole football play on her ass.
Well, he said self-defense.
Don't put your hand on me, though. Let me get the fuck away from it. Let me walk away. Leave me alone. My first baby mother used to literally rip my clothes off, my nigga. Rip my clothes off. And I be walking with no shirt. Like, y'all not even fighting you, bro. This bitch hitting me and shit. Little bitch, she hit. I'm leaving my demons like, yo, bitch, I'm running from this bitch all that. You understand me?
Right.
I don't got time for that shit. But I ain't gonna do that to some niggas to save them. I'm gonna run away from a nigga to save them.
Right.
Because if I stand up and face him and the demons come out, I might kill that nigga and don't even know. My mother always told me I don't know my strength, which is facts. I got demons, I don't know what the fuck they doing. You feel me?
Yeah, by black out or
If that
something.
demon won't kick in, I really don't know my strength. You dead and I don't even know you dead. I'm in prison, hopefully survive dead. Like, oh shit, I killed this nigga. It's not hard to kill people. One temple shot. Motherfucker, you ain't getting up no more.
Yeah.
Now I'm in prison for fucking murder. I hope it's survive murder. God knows I don't like to play fight or none of that. I do not play fight. I'm 48. Never play fight. Don't like it. Because I know one blow could kill you. And we play fighting. I don't want to hit you by accident. So I feel if we fighting, we fighting. Why play fight? Because play fight good to the real. You might hit me how I don't like it, and my hit gonna be harder than how you hit me now. We fighting. I don't want to play. I tell my friends shit, if they slap boxing in New York, no, me not slap box. You know, I slap my face, but yo, me not in that. Yeah.
You must be Jamaican. Yeah. I sense that shit because Jamaican don't even play that shit, but ain't we gonna fight, we gonna fight. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Yeah, I feel you, but I'm just saying, like, if only thing I'm saying is only time a person gonna really fight is if you gonna fight. You feel me? I feel you though. And
I only fight if I have to fight, and usually it's a bully.
Right.
Usually it's a bully. Me and nobody have no reason to fight. So I ain't got nothing to prove.
Right.
I don't got to prove that I can knock you out. For what?
Yeah,
I don't have to show my own. Do none of that.
It's pointless.
Now, if we fight for some money or something, I'm like, all right, let's fight for this money. Then let's do this. Like, what? What the fuck we fighting for?
Yeah.
People have reason and look reason to fight. You know what I mean? People can find and look reason to fight. That's facts.
That's real, man.
A motherfucker call me a pussy. You think that's gonna give me a reason to fight? No, the fuck it's not. It's gonna let me know that you know I'm a pussy, that you ain't gonna never fuck.
Right.
I'm gonna stay a dry pussy. I give people the whole speech. You feel me?
Right.
Because if you think about making me a wet pussy, do you think you gonna fuck me easy? No.
Right.
I'm going into defensive mode. And usually when I go into defensive mode, I don't even want to talk no more.
Right.
Because my mother tell me not to argue with people that makes me schizophrenic. So while I'm arguing with you, I'm going into schizo mode. And by the time you think you're gonna do me something, I'm already throwing you off a roof. You wasn't expecting it. You feel me? I said to you that type of shit.
Yeah. Already throwing you off.
Yeah, that type of shit. You think you're gonna fight with me? I'm already thinking I'm gonna throw you off that shit off.
Murder was the case.
Just like that. I like to see people fight and stuff.
Turn your ass to Superman. That boy is huge.
You know, man, I grew up rough, man. I grew up rough, you know what I mean?
Hey.
And at the end of the day, in my mind, I know other people that grew up rough, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I got scars on my body from roughness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing for me. Bruises don't even bother me and shit. You know what the surgeon told me? He don't know where to operate me no more. I had 3 surgeries.
Wow.
In my stomach. The nigga tell me he don't know where the fucking surgery no more. I say, yo, listen, man, I'm gonna have to look like a Cabbage Patch Kid. You know me? I'm out here in a fucking battlefield. You know what I'm saying to you?
Yeah.
I'm expected to get wounded. If I don't get wounded, oh shit, I'm lucky. That's how I know I'm lucky, when I'm not getting wounded.
Right.
Yeah. I live my life like people be telling me, oh, be safe. I said safe better be. Shit, they ain't worried about being safe. Safe better fucking be. Shit. Like growing up in New York, they see a pole. They wanna not split the pole. Me, I don't give a fuck. I split that pole.
Hey, what
I walk the motherfucker and just split the pole to see the money all over the place.
hey, that ain't just New York, man. That's down here in Florida too. I remember we used to go to the store and stuff. My cousin used to be like, "Don't split that pole, don't split that pole." You have to walk back around, like, man, eventually I just stopped giving them. I was like, man, fuck that pole. Fuck that pole.
You know what that told me? Those people that's superstitious are way to the fact of 100%.
Right.
It easily changed.
Right.
Because I put it into play in